Are you having trouble signing into your SPPS app's Drive account on your iPad? Do you put in your username and your password and nothing seems to happen other than you see the spinning dial spinning around at the top of the login screen there? If this is happening to you, then probably you haven't done the second step of syncing your Chrome and Google Drive account. So let's go through how to do that. So let's close up this sign-in and we'll navigate our way back to our Chrome app. And here in the address bar, let's type in start, S-T-A-R-T, .stpaul. And you can see that address is starting to pop up for me there, stpaul.k12.mn.us. So I'm just going to tap on that address since I've been here before. At this point, I'm going to tap on the blue bar to sign in through St. Paul Public Schools. And here I'm going to put in my Active Directory information. So E and my employee ID number. This is the same way that I would sign on to a computer. And I'm going to put in my password here as well. And then I'm going to tap Login. And now this screen probably looks pretty familiar to us. This is what we see on our computer when we're going to SPPS apps. And here's where a lot of people stop. There's actually a second step that we need to do, a second part of the syncing process between Chrome and Google Drive so that our username and password is passed along to Drive and the other Google apps like Docs and Slides and Sheets. So to do this, we need to tap on the three dots in the top right corner of the screen, right up there at the top of Chrome. And then in this menu, we need to tap on Settings down there at the bottom. And here we're going to sign into Chrome, so let's tap the blue bar. And here's that familiar sign in box again. So we're going to put in our full long SPPS apps email address here. And if you're having trouble remembering what that long address is, if you look over to the right side of the sign-in box up there at Chrome, in that darkened background, you can still see your long email address. So I can see right up there at the top, chris.turnbull@stpaul.k12.mn.us. So if this is an unfamiliar address to you, you can always look over there to the right and make sure that you know where to put all the dots in that address. Now we can actually skip over the password part here and just tap on the blue sign-in bar. Alright, at this point now we can tap on OK, got it down there in the bottom right. And if you received a pop-up that said, can Chrome access your location data, why don't you tap Don't Allow for that. Chrome doesn't really need to know where you're at to be an internet browser to do its job. Alright, now at this point we can see our name here in our full stpaul.k12.mn.us address. So we know we're synced now. We're not only signed in to that web page, but we're also synced in our app with our username and password. So let's tap on Done up there at the top right. And now we can tap our home button or four-finger swipe. We're going to go and find the Drive app. So if that's still open for you, you can tap on it. Otherwise, go ahead and tap on the Drive app to start it up. And down at the bottom corner now, we're going to tap on Sign In. And we can see our user account listed here in the pop-up. So let's just go ahead and tap on that user account. And now our username and password has been synced over to the Google Drive app. And we can see all of our files coming in there at the top. You can also double check to make sure which account you're signed in on, whether it's your personal account, a personal Gmail account, or your SPPS apps account, by tapping the three bars in the top left corner. And when that panel opens up there, you can see your stpaul.k12.mn.us account there, so you know that you're logged into Drive with your SPPS apps account. So if you have a personal Gmail account logged in as well on your iPad, I would definitely recommend checking here before creating any files or folders to share out with your students to make sure that you're logged in and sharing files from your SPPS apps account. Alright, at this point, my Google apps are all synced up. At this point, I can sync my remaining Google apps through the same process. So if I tap on the Docs app and tap on Sign In the lower left corner, I can now tap on my name in this pop-up address. Again, making sure that it's my SPPS apps account if I do have a personal account on here. And that will sync over my username and password and bring in my files. I can tap my home button, go back and tap on the Sheets app, tap on Sign In the lower left corner, tap on my SPPS apps address. Again, the app will sync over my username and password, and all of my files will be brought in. Again, I can tap my home button. I can go back and find the Slides app and tap on Sign In the lower left corner. Tap on my account name, and all of my files will be brought in there. Alright, at this point, all of my Google apps are fully synced up on my iPad. So now, whenever I go to my Drive app, my files will just show up.